it's Emily. Today I want to show you how to roast asparagus in the toaster oven. Asparagus is really good for you. It's low in calories but high in nutrients. And also it's got vitamins A and C and K. It helps with your digestion and it tastes great, especially when you cook it the way I'm going to show you. In the toaster oven. My family fights over it. We have to divide the pieces up. We have to say everybody gets 4 pieces because everybody will take more than their share because they love it so much. And we don't have to do that with very many veggies at our house. So this is a winner. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this. So I've got my bunch of asparagus. I'm going to take the rubber band off. I used to go find asparagus in the ditch bank by our house growing up. So I've always loved asparagus. I used to take it to my mom and she would cook it for me. So I'm going to take this bunch of asparagus and wash it really well. I'm going to dry it, shake it off, and then I've got just a hand towel. I'm going to roll it up in, get most of the water off. And then I've got a little trick for you. The end of the asparagus is really woody, and it's not fun to chew, and you'll be chewing for a long, long time. So what I like to do is take the asparagus, just take one piece and bend it. And where that asparagus breaks, now that's a pretty big piece, but you can tell this end is really woody and fibrous. So this is the most tender part. So I'm going to do that to 2 pieces just to get an idea. So I bend it, and that one's even shorter. So I'm going to take my 2 pieces, maybe I'll do it with even 3. Okay, so this gives me a good idea. I'm going to take my 3 pieces and line it up with my bunch of asparagus that I washed, and then I'm going to use this as a guide. I'm going between, let's see, here are the 3 pieces that broke off, so I'll just go right in between those 3. And that looks like a lot of waste, doesn't it? And if you're making like a puree, then you don't have to cut so much off, but if you're going to have this as a really yummy side dish with like a steak or something, you want it to be nice and tender. I've got my washed and trimmed asparagus, and this is my toaster oven tray. I like to put aluminum foil on it so I don't have to wash this every time. And then these are great. They're just little pieces of aluminum foil already cut. They're already in a really convenient size, so I use these a lot to just line my tray. And I'm going to drizzle some olive oil and then lay down my asparagus, give it a toss, just so every piece has some olive oil on it and then the bottom won't stick. And if you do it in kind of a single layer, it's better because then the top doesn't get burned and the bottom's kind of soggy because it got kind of steamed instead of roasted. So I like to do it kind of a single layer. And then all you need is a little salt, some pepper, and then I love this, I use it all the time, roasted garlic and herb. It's pretty much good on everything. And now we're ready for the toaster oven. I like to keep my toaster oven in the pantry so it's off of my kitchen countertops. So let's go. So here we are in my pantry, and I'll tell you why I love to use my toaster oven. For one thing, it turns off automatically by itself after 20 minutes, which I've left a few things in the oven for a lot longer than that. So this is kind of a safety. It turns off. I don't mind the kids using it for pizza or for chicken nuggets because it automatically turns off. if they forget about it or leave it on. And another reason I love the toaster oven is for cooking small things like this, I don't love heating up my big oven. So this is super easy. I just come in, pop it in, and really you don't even have to preheat the toaster oven. I often just throw it right in and I've never had a problem with it. So it's easy to use and I feel like it doesn't take up as much electricity because you're not heating up a big oven. So I'm going to put in my tray of asparagus, convection bake, and then I'm going to turn our temperature up to 400 degrees and push start. Now mine is on default of 20 minutes. I'm going to check the asparagus at 10 minutes and see how it's doing, see if it's done. Usually it takes about 15 minutes. Now I don't have as big of a bunch as I usually have, so I will check it in 10 minutes. If you've got the real fat, juicy asparagus, maybe it will take the full 20 minutes. And if you've got the real thin stalks, probably 12 minutes will do. So let's just come back in 10 and see how it's doing. Okay, we're at the 10-minute mark. Let's check on our asparagus. I can smell the garlic. I can hear it sizzling. Let's check on it. That's looking really good. Now at this point you can toss it if you want, or it's fine since we just kind of had a single layer. If you've got a big stack, you'd want to stir it up and toss it and make sure that the bottom gets to the top. But that looks really good. It's not quite done, but it's almost done. I'm going to give it about 3 more minutes. Our asparagus has been in the toaster oven for a total of 13 minutes. Let's check it out. I think that's perfect. Okay, let's get it dished up. I like to serve it in a cute little container. And I've got another toaster oven tip for you that I came up with. Okay, so our toaster oven is still hot. I'm going to turn it off. And there's our asparagus. Doesn't that look so good? Look at that. I think it's cooked to perfection. Let's try it out. But let me show you this tip. So, if I'm making other food, like if we have steaks on the grill or baked potatoes and we're waiting for it and the asparagus is done, or whatever I've cooked in the toaster oven is done, I just put it either on the tray, if it's still on the tray, I put it on top of the toaster oven, or with this dish, and I've already turned the toaster oven off, but it's still hot on top. So I like to use the toaster oven as kind of its own little warming tray, a warming station. And then when all the food is done, we can have hot food all at the same time instead of eating cold asparagus because the steaks took a little bit longer to cook. So this is a good go-to tip to keep your food warm. Got our side dish done, our roasted asparagus, and now it's time to give it a try. You can see the garlic on it, the salt and pepper. You could add Parmesan cheese, you could add butter. I just love a simple olive oil with a little salt and pepper, a little garlic. It's all it really needs. It's got a great earthy taste to it. Let's try it. Perfect. I love that our asparagus is tender, clear down to the bottom. You don't have to sit and chew through the bark, through the woody part. This is so good. I love eating healthy, especially when it tastes good. It's a win-win. Go make yourself some asparagus.